Like, it's just really hard for you to just function because you feel as though no one really understands who you are, what the vision is. So then we go to Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, social media, and we're looking at and we're listening to fellow entrepreneurs. And they're just saying stuff like, oh man, yo, like I just did this and look, I now make $1 million a month. I'm like, oh, word? It was that easy? Or, there's so many folks, and I'm not going to name anyone's name because I'm not trying to get canceled, or I'm not trying to, I don't want folks coming after me, but you know who you are, right? I'm just looking at so many people's content. Give me a countdown.
3, 2, 1.
Hello, everyone. Again, Jeff Lindor, Gentleman's Factory, episode number 4. Yes. So, my tip for this one, and it's really important. I think this is probably going to be my favorite episode. Tip number 7. Stay away from YouTube and Instagram folks that make things look easy. They are lying to you. It's hard. It's very hard, but you can do it because you're awesome if you believe you are. So let's break that down, right? So, this entrepreneurship journey could be a lonely path. Oftentimes you feel as though you're by yourself. People don't understand you. Family are looking at you like as though you're a bit crazy, or like it's just really hard for you to just function because you feel as though no one really understands who you are, what the vision is. So then we go to Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, social media, and we're looking at and we're listening to fellow entrepreneurs. And they're just saying stuff like, oh man, yo, like I just did this and look, I now make $1 million a month. I'm like, oh, word? It was that easy? Or, there's so many folks, and I'm not going to name anyone's name because I'm not trying to get canceled, or I'm not trying to, I don't want folks coming after me, but you know who you are, right? I'm just looking at so many people's content, and they're just saying, oh, do this, do that, do this, do that, and it's it. And I'm like, and that's it? Word? Oh, snap. So what am I doing wrong, right? Nah, man, nothing works like that, right? But oftentimes as an entrepreneur, we sometimes feel as though we're not doing things correctly because we're looking at someone else's journey. And I'll be very transparent, right? I'm 5 years going on 6 years in. September 30th of this year makes it 6 years. And, I've had big articles, very big articles, bigger than many. That was a flex. But, when it comes to raising capital, a lot of times people are like, oh, you know what? Like this person just raised $3 million, or this person just raised $10 million, or this person just raised $50 million. This person just raised, and I'm like, oh, wait, what about me? Maybe I'm not doing something correctly, right? Because, I'm like, I got to go down this venture path. Yeah, right. So I remember, funny quick story, right? So I hit the New York Times in 2019, right? Front page in the Metro section. And everyone is reaching out. Everyone is hitting me up. And at the time we were compared to this women's social club called The Wing. And they raised like $122 million. $122 million. And that's when, venture capitalists were reaching out, Black venture capitalists too, and folks who were really deep in the diversity and inclusion space. And then they were like, oh, wow, okay, so show me the deck. Okay, so how much are you trying to raise? And quite frankly, at the time, I really didn't want to raise significant amount of capital because I wanted to understand what the community was, what the community is, etc. And, I'm still new to that world, right? A VC. And then I'm like, why do I need all of this money? In terms of, obviously I know now now I know why I need all of this money. But what I'm saying is that I then felt pressured. I'm like, wow, you know what? Like, I got to raise money because that's just what people do. You know, like I need an article on TechCrunch and I need an article this and I need an article there. And, you know, like I'm seeing everyone raising money. So then I remember when I got on the phone with this VC, with this black VC, a very popular one. I'm not going to say his name. He's a good brother, right? And he's mean. But I remember I got on the phone with him because I was introduced to someone by him. And then we got on the phone. And then he was just asking me these questions and I couldn't answer it. And he made me feel like sugar, honey, iced tea. I was like, oh, man. I don't remember. I mean, anything pre-COVID, like my mind is blurred, but I think he probably like hung up the phone on me or something like that. Like that's just how bad of the conversation it was. And I was like, oh, wow. Okay. So I clearly felt incompetent. I clearly felt lesser than, and I clearly felt like as though I didn't know what the hell I was going to do in my life. And then, you know, I'm like, oh, wow, like these people are not nice. The world is not nice. The world is not filled with nice people. Wait, what? Okay, let me stop. But yeah, I mean, so in that, you know, when I was looking at other people, black people too, like raising capital and raising millions of this VC, that VC, especially in 2018, 2019, that's when I felt incompetent. And that's when I felt, oh my God, you know what? Like, look at what they're doing. Look at what I'm not doing. And maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I'm not this. Maybe I'm not that. Listen, word of the wise, stop looking at what other people are doing. Now that I'm more mature, quite frankly, COVID happens. And I raised, I raised a decent amount of capital, right? Like friends and family, and I'm good, right? And now, I got a groove, in 2019 was a really big year for us, right? I'm in a groove, I raised some capital, not like TechCrunch worthy. And TechCrunch is this big publication, right? That a lot of people want to get on. And then we were going to open up a space in downtown Brooklyn. Shout out to Renee Hamilton, who was my broker, my good friend, my brother, right? So we were going to open up a space in downtown Brooklyn. And I actually did get the capital pledge from an investor, a really good mentor of mine, and I love him so dearly. And he was going to put up the capital, right? And, again, it's not TechCrunch worthy, but, it was, I ain't gonna tell you all my business, right? But it was a good amount of money, right? I fine, okay. It was about like $850,000. Yo, what up, right? $850,000, all right? TechCrunch wouldn't write about that, but $850,000, yo, man, that was a pat on the back, man. 2019, I had $850,000 that I was gonna get to open up a new space. And then we hear this COVID thing and we then, paused it a little bit. We were like, okay, like, why don't we circle back in a week? 2 years later, right? COVID ends, kind of. Kyrie is playing now in Brooklyn. So I think, once Kyrie's playing in Brooklyn, then that should show you that, there's no more COVID, right? Okay, I'm playing around. I'm not trying to make fun of COVID. I'm making light of what happened in COVID because it was a horrific situation. But anyway, what I'm saying is that what I saw, though, and I was so happy, quite frankly, that I didn't raise significant amount of capital pre-COVID and expanded to all of these different cities, etc., because I would have had deployed all of this capital and I would have been tied up in all of these leases and I had no more money. So I've seen big companies that were on TechCrunch and that were on, all of these big articles, they're no longer here, right? And quite frankly, I had a lean operation throughout COVID, and we were able to sustain ourselves, and we built a digital model, and we have members all across Earth now, and things are good, right? And then we opened up a new facility in downtown Brooklyn, and we're expanding to different locations throughout New York City and throughout Earth, right? And then we're purchasing our locations too, right? Rather than leasing. And I say that to say that, you gotta trust your process. And also you have to be able to not look at what other people are doing and then say, wow, like, how come I'm not doing it the way that everybody got a different journey. And I'm gonna be completely honest with you. If someone looks at my books compared to the books that a lot of people, a lot of organizations and like I'm not trying to pick on TechCrunch here, right? But you know what I mean. Like all of these big companies that's been in all of these big publications, look at our books and look at our EBITDA. It's sexy. Okay, right? But yeah, so I'm saying all of that to say that it's very important that you not focus so much on what other people are doing, but just focus on your path, know your market, learn your niche, really be specific in who, like the problem that you're solving and what's your differentiating factor. And, just do your thing, right? Do your thing. And again, going back to tip number 7 is to stay away from YouTube and Instagram folks that makes it look easy. They're lying to you. It's hard. It's very hard, but you can do it because you are awesome if you believe you are. And I'll spend a few more seconds on the term if you believe you are. It starts with you, man. And women, right? You have to believe in yourself. And if you don't believe in yourself, then how is it going to be that other people believe in you if you don't even believe in yourself, right? So it starts with you. You are a great person and you're also awesome, but you have to believe it for yourself, right? Believe it for yourself. And tip number 8. Dum. Yo, I hope y'all learned a lot throughout my tips so far, right? Y'all better, cash at me. You know what I'm saying, right? You know what I mean? What? Yo, man, yo, like I gotta write up. But matter of fact, what? Because y'all don't appreciate this, I'm out. No, plan, right? So yeah, right. Tip number 8. The first person who cash outs me $1 million will give me okay. Let me stop again. Okay, all right. Let me go to tip number 8. Tip number 8 is you should not have bad days. You should only have bad moments. Let me say it again. You shouldn't have bad days. You should only have bad moments. And what do I mean by that, right? So early on in my entrepreneurial journey, when I got an email, that one email would just mess up my whole day. Oh, the world is over. Oh man, you know what? This check is delayed. Or wait, you know what? Messes up my whole mood. But then what I realized throughout this entrepreneurship journey is that in one day or at 10 a.m., you'll get an email that you feel as though like the world is about to end. And at 10:15, you'll get another email where there's light. And at 12 o'clock, you'll get another email that annoys you. But then at 3 p.m., you check the mailbox and there's a check of $10,000 that just came in. That was my life, right? That was literally my life, right? Thank God now things are a lot more smoother, but that was my life. That was the entrepreneurial journey. And what I had to realize was that I cannot have bad days, because if you allow for that one email to mess up your day, then you're done. But if you can compartmentalize these things, take a deep breath and keep moving forward, then that's when you win, right? And I have so many different scenarios where out of just nowhere, things just happened. I remember when we got on the huge press hit and folks was just throwing money towards me, right? Again, not TechCrunch type of money, you know what I'm saying, right? No, but folks was just throwing, $100,000, $50,000 checks, right? And I was really blessed and fortunate. And I bought furniture and I hired a team. Shout out to David Watkins, who was my right-hand man for about 2 years, man. David really helped take us to the next level, and so many others. And Diedrich and, you name it, right? Like, I have a really great team. In that, I was able to really navigate those situations because I was focused, right? Somebody told me something at the ribbon cutting of the Gentleman's Factory Innovation Lab in downtown Brooklyn. And he said, what makes Jeff special and different is he is very consistent. So, he said, this man's consistency, he's been seeing the same thing for the past 8 years. Mind you, I said that my entrepreneurship journey started officially in 2016, but I've been doing this, for the past 20 years, and I'm only 36. But when it comes to Gentleman's Factory specifically, I've been doing this for about 8 years, but I've been very, very, very consistent. So here's another, here's something that I would encourage entrepreneurs to focus on, right? Have a vision, and see what problem is it that you're looking to solve, right? That's one. And that doesn't change. But your organizational practices, your methodology on how to fulfill that constantly needs to be improved. Have a vision and see what problem is it that you're looking to solve, right? That's one. And that doesn't change. But your organizational practices, your methodology on how to fulfill that constantly needs to be improved. Constantly needs reevaluation. What you did yesterday may not work today. But if I'm looking to build a world where Black men specifically feel a sense of belonging, then however way we do that, I'll do. And during COVID, we didn't have physical spaces. So we had virtual spaces. So our physical space wasn't our, core business. Community is. And however way we get to community, that's what we'll do to ensure that Black men have a sense of belonging, also are economically strengthened and beyond, right? So however way that you do that, you do, and you constantly have to fine tune that, but never go away from your vision, right? So we have these metrics that we use at Gentleman's Factory as to how we move the needle. And I call that the secret sauce. And I'm not going to share that with y'all because I don't really like y'all like that, right? You know what I'm saying? But that's just an example of me knowing that our core and our vision always stays the same, but how we do that shifts constantly based upon the market, based upon the need. So, for example, now with what our model is we have physical locations and we call those spaces Gentleman's Factory Labs. Now, Gentleman's Factory Labs, we have the Creative Lab in downtown Brooklyn, on Flatbush. We have the Innovation Lab in downtown Brooklyn, and we're opening up a social lab in Harlem, and we're opening up a wellness lab somewhere else in New York City. And then we'll sprinkle out into different parts of America and different parts of Earth. And I'll just leave it right there because I don't want y'all selling my idea, right? You know what I'm saying? Right? No, please. But yeah, so in that, again, you got to really make sure that you're focusing on the prize. And particularly when things happen, stay focused because things will always happen. Life is 10% of what happened with the ED and 90% of your reaction to it. So as a result, stay focused. So you shouldn't have bad days. You should just have bad moments. So let me just recap tip number 7 and tip number 8. Tip number 7 is stay away from YouTube and Instagram folks that makes it look easy. They are lying to you. It's hard. It's very hard. But you can do it because you're awesome if you believe you are. And tip number 8 is you shouldn't have bad days. You should only have bad moments. Peace, everyone. Gentleman's Factory. Jeff Lindor. Let's change the world. Peace.